All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to a little basic how-to video. So I have a lot of friends that have PlayStation 5s that are complaining about storage, and a lot of them don't know what to do. I already have a 1 terabyte SSD pre-installed on mine, but I bought a 2 terabyte, the Samsung SSD 980 Pro, that is 2 terabytes. So I'm going to go over how to not only uninstall one and also install one as well. I will be taking the 1 terabyte out of my PS5 and I will be putting it into my kid's PS5, and then I will be putting in the 2 terabyte to my PlayStation 5 with the heatsink and everything. So let's go ahead and hop right into this. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna go over is the type of tools and stuff that you'll be using and you'll be needing. I've got a few different screwdrivers here. I've got my lucky flathead screwdriver that has gotten me out of a lot of jams. I have an eyeglass repair kit. This is a Klein eyeglass repair kit, or just a mini screwdriver. It's typically what they call it, but it's got a bunch of different interchangeable bits on it. That is going to come in handy. Also, because it has the rotating base. And then my other Klein. This is actually my electrician's Klein set with all the different little bits in it. Now, I'm going to be taking this opportunity to not only swap these out, but these PlayStations have been sitting for quite a while, and we live in a very dusty environment up in the mountains. So I'm going to be taking the opportunity to clean them out as well. Now, this right here is just a basic vacuum blower that I got off of Amazon for like 60 bucks. It actually works very well. A lot of people complained that it won't, I guess, peel the paint off of a car. That's not what I'm expecting it to do. I just need it to be able to do basic cleaning functions for my electronic devices. It works fairly well. It's got 2 different settings, low and high, and then off. And then you've got the blower extension right there. And then if you want to switch to the vacuum, you just twist the head right here. Bam, just like that. And now you have a vacuum with both high and low settings. I also have my mini shark vacuum here that I got at Costco to clean up the larger area around me, just in case there's bigger dust piles that come out. And of course, we have the heatsink with the SSD. Now, this right here, if you're gonna go into this with wanting to do as little as possible, this is the SSD that I highly recommend. It's already got the heatsink with it. You don't have to do anything. As where the one that I originally bought for my PS5, I had to actually buy a separate heatsink and attach it to it. Now, the price difference is about $30. Like I said, if you're wanting to go into it with wanting to do as little as possible, this is going to be the best route to go. This is basically just going to be like a plug and go. So the next thing that we are going to get to is removing the faceplate and the base plate, if you have one, of the PlayStation 5. Now, I really got to appreciate and give it to Sony on this one, how easy they have made this to do. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are deathly afraid of electronics and how fragile they can be. I know this because I am one of those people. Anytime I have to deal with electronics, because I'm so unfamiliar with them and I'm so technologically illiterate, that it scares me to death to have to go in and tamper with these in any way, shape, or form, because I'm always afraid of breaking some chip or cord or something that's going to make it not work. Now, what Sony have done is they have made the faceplate and the base plate just one clip away and then sliding off. And the reason why I appreciate this so much is because, unlike Xbox that has the external drive, which I get that makes it really easy, but it also opens up the door for many variables to happen in that chip getting broken or snapped off or popping out or something. with the way that Sony has done it, they have hidden the SSD not only behind the faceplate, but there is another cover plate on the inside to help protect it even further. And on top of it, we're going to show you how easy this is to do. Okay, so the first things first, we are going to remove the base plate. Now, if you do not have one of these, you do not have to worry about this part. You can skip past it. The one thing that I like about the base plate is you not only have to put it on the narrow section like this, you can also put it on the section in the back here flat, so it will act as a stand to place if you want to keep your PlayStation horizontal like this. But right now, we're going to take our flathead screwdriver. We're going to remove the base plate. Super easy to do. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, that is not what you want to do. And there we go. One thing that I didn't know about this base plate is that if you're not using it, you can put the screw right here and then seal it up so you don't lose the screw. That's for if you're using it as a horizontal stand. Okay, so now the next step that we're going to be doing is removing the faceplate of the PS5. Now, as you can see, the PlayStation does have a direction, okay? Now, on the bottom, you can see that there are lips that are covering the bottom of the PlayStation. So you know to always slide towards the disk drive. So what you're going to want to do is, you're not going to break this. You want to lift on this section over here. You're going to lift like that, and then you're going to push and pull at the same time, and the cover plate will come right off. Now, as you can see, mine is kind of dirty and dusty. We're going to be cleaning this as well. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're not going to hurt anything. It's not going to break it. It just comes up and off. Now you see all the little directional pegs? You always want to lift and slide towards the bottom of the PlayStation. And then there we go. There is the inside of your PlayStation 5 right there. And as you can see, we're going to go through and we're going to dust out the fans. And then there is our SSD cover plate right there. Okay, so this is going to be the final step in all of this. Now, I have my son's PlayStation and I have my PlayStation. As you guys can see, on the inside of the PlayStation, there is this cover plate right here. Now, all you're going to need is a small Phillips head, just like that. Make sure that it fits in there nice and snug though. You get the right type of Phillips head, because there are a lot of different little sizes like this one. This one just says PHO. I think it's, yeah, it just says PHO. But give it a test first, because you do not want to strip out these screws. If it wiggles back and forth or it feels like it doesn't fit in there all the way, do not use it. Okay, I also have my flathead screwdriver right here. And then I've got my trusty Kershaw in case I need it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing the cover plate on both of the PS5s. It lifts up and then pulls out. There's a little tab right here at the very end that fits into a slot down at the bottom. So it like essentially plugs in and then lowers down. You can't just drop it on. This cover plate is secure on there. We'll set this off to the side. And as you can see, my son's is empty right now. And we're going to take off the second one or the first one, I should say. It lifts up, pulls out. There's my SSD with my heatsink right there. Move my little vacuums out of the way so you guys can see better. Now, as you can see down on the inside, there is a screw right here that we are going to have to take out that secures in the SSD. So we're going to remove that. It actually comes in the PlayStation right here. They give you the screw to secure in the SSD. This isn't a spare part. This is something that is there specifically that Sony has given us to secure in whatever SSD that we use. So we're going to take the one out of my PlayStation out. There's the screw, and there's the fitting. And then it screws in just like that, and the fitting is there for the SSD to mount in. Do not lose these. So the next thing that we will be doing is removing the SSD. It just unplugs, just like that. Now, this was super easy to put in. All I did, the heatsink came separate from the SSD. I slid the SSD inside of the heatsink and then just tighten the screws down. That's it. It's as simple as that. Some of them just have a rubber band that you wrap around it. It's super easy. It's not that complicated. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew our screw and our fitting on this PlayStation 5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're going to put these over here in our nice little safe location. And actually, what we're going to do first is we're going to take this opportunity to clean these out a little bit. Now, like I said, you can get these on Amazon for anywhere from $60 to $120. This particular model right here was about 80 bucks, and it came with a couple of different attachments. One for the vacuum and one for the blower. So the one for the vacuum will fit in just like that. And to protect the bristles, they actually did something ingenious, and they put it on a clip rack. So the bristles can slide down and stay protected. So what we're going to do is we're gonna blow it out first. We're gonna switch it over to blower. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, just like I said. So now we're going to flop this back over right here. Now we've got our heat sink with our SSD. Like I said, this is going to cost you, it works just fine. It's going to cost you on the average about $30 less than the Samsung counterpart. And the reason why is because this one has a built-in heat sink, as where this one doesn't. You have to buy the heat sink separately. Now the heat sinks range anywhere from $5 to $15. They're not that expensive. For the 1 terabyte with the heat sink in total out the door, I think I paid around $115. And for the 1 terabyte, no, I paid $80. And then for the 1 terabyte, it was $115 for the Samsung. Now for the 2 terabyte, I got this on sale for Black Friday last year, about $180. I think was the full price. I think I paid $150 for it, which is the reason why I bought it. But if there wouldn't have been a Black Friday deal, I would have went this route again and saved myself about $50. Like I said, this works just fine, and it's super easy to put together. All you do is you sanitize your environment, sanitize your hands, and make sure they're super dry. You slide the heat sink in, or the SSD inside the heat sink. Well, you take it apart. This comes in 2 pieces. You unscrew all these screws right here, and then you take this top part off. You slide the SSD in, and then you very carefully, after you've rubber banded it, you put this back on and then screw the screws back in. It's that simple, and you'll save yourself about $50. I highly recommend going this route. Like I said, if I wouldn't have got this on a Black Friday deal, I would have gone this route again, because this route works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It'll take you an extra 2 minutes to do, and you're going to save yourself anywhere from $30 to $65. Now back to this route. We are going to take the SSD with the heatsink, and we are going to slide it in just like that. You will feel it plug in. Just like that. Oop, I'm not lining it up right. Bada bing, there we go. So as you can see, I'll show you one more time. You lift up and out, and then to put it back in, you do the exact same thing. You come in from the top at an angle, slide down, push in, just like that. Now we're going to put the fitting in. Oh. Ah. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. Bam. Put the screw back on. Just like that. Perfect. Perfect. And we take our cover plate, pop our cover plate back on. Screw it back in. And there you go. Then we just put the face plates back on and we're good to go. Now we're going to go into the Samsung SSD. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this open with my trusty Kershaw. If I'm not using a Leatherman, I go Kershaw all the way. Sometimes I'll use the CRKT, but preferably I go Leatherman. If I don't go Leatherman, I go Kershaw. Okay, now we're going to open up our new SSD. There's the instruction and the spec manual. Now, you see, that's the only difference. There's your $50 difference right there. It comes assembled like this. That's why you pay an extra $50. Because essentially, they, at the company, take out these two screws, or these screws. They pop the top off, and then they slide the SSD in, and then they put the top back on. That's why you're paying an extra $50. I'm telling you, it is super easy. If you are looking to save a little extra money, this route over here works just fine. Like I said, the only reason I went this route is because I got it on sale. I got it for the same price that I would have paid for this right here, and I figured why not. Now, we're going to take our new SSD. Actually, wait, let's we'll drop our bracket in, just like that. And then we will, oh wait, we didn't clean out this right here. We got to clean the new one out. Duh. All right, let's give her a little hose down. Now we got it nice and cleaned off. Drop the bracket in. Get our solid state drive. And drop it down. Pop the screw back on. And there we go. Super easy. I wanted to show you guys this really quick. I should have done this side by side, but as you can see, there's no difference between the two right here in size. They're both the same size, you know what I mean? So the you don't have to worry about that right there. Okay, so we got this cover plate on. Put this screw back on. Okay, don't tighten it down too tight. You don't want it cinched on there. Like I said, you don't want to strip out any of the screws. These are smaller screws and you will blow them out. All right, now same thing as before. Oh yeah, we gotta hose her off now too. And you can see your directional holes all right here. Make sure those are all lined up the same. You'll feel it slip right into those holes. And you just push up. And you'll hear it click. And see, that's it. Super easy. Same thing on the other side. Give her a little clean too. And then same thing, you've got your directional pegs right here. You've got your holes right here. You can see what direction everything goes. Now, you've got your lip down here. You can see that. So you know, that should tell you which way it'll go on right there. And then same thing, you can feel it drop into the holes. You kind of drop it in at an angle and then just push up. There you go. Now your SSD is ready on your PS5. We can go ahead and take our base plate, if you have one. Now I wanted to show you guys something cool with this base plate. You see how it's at an angle like that? When you close the hole to protect the screw, it's at an angle. The reason why it's at an angle is because you put it back here like this, and now your PlayStation sits flat. Pretty cool, huh? Just like that. That's why it's angled the way it is. But we're not gonna do that. You're gonna twist it back take the screw back out, slide it back in, or not yet. We're gonna fit it back on the bottom first, right here, just like that. We're gonna drop the screw back in. And don't tighten it too tight. There we go. Your PS5 is now ready to be set up and plugged back in, and you're gonna have a lot more storage, and you're gonna make your life a whole lot easier. Now, if you guys like this video, if you thought it was too long, please, I'm willing to accept your guys' comments in the video. These are just some things that I struggled with going into you know, working with consoles in the very beginning. I was extremely afraid to do anything like this with my PlayStations or my Xboxes or my Switches because I was scared to death of breaking something. You don't have to be scared. Sony knew this about its customers, and they have intentionally made it easier for you guys to go in and change these things out and add more memory to them. So with that being said, if you guys like the video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you guys again on the next one.